Good afternoon, everybody. Big Mike here with you once again. Welcome back to Big Mike Talks, where today I'm going to bring to you the rest of the week that was in pro wrestling. I was going to do the pay-per-views for today, but I feel like maybe this would be better for now because there's some setup in the TNA portion that would kind of be spoiled if we just go into Under Siege. So I'm going to do this today, then maybe tomorrow I'll do the pay-per-views. Depends on what's going on. So we are going to start us off with AEW Rampage. It is the continuation of the Kenny Omega attack by the Elite. At this point, FTR are helping some doctors get Kenny Omega onto a stretcher. They then roll him out of the arena, backstage to the car park where there's an ambulance waiting. And then the Elite come out, attack FTR, turn the attention to the paramedics, run them off, and then they turn their sights back to Kenny Omega, in which Nicholas leans down and says, "It's nothing personal, buddy. It's just business." And they entirely flip the stretcher over, leaving Kenny Omega laying on cement. That was an interesting way to start Rampage as a continuation of Dynamite. We then go into the exclusive Rampage stuff now, as we get our first matchup of the evening, as it's Switchblade Jay White taking on Dante Martin. And this was a fun little opening matchup. A lot of really good back and forth. A lot of stuff to the outside, which was surprising. Dante trying to use his speed. Obviously, Jay White slowing him down here and there. But ultimately, Jay White hits the Blade Runner to pick up the victory. And then Jay White decides to stomp Dante out after the bell a little. So, yeah, that was the first matchup of Rampage. Very entertaining. Gonna be interesting to see what they do with Jay White and Bullet Club Gold now that they have all the trios gold. So next up, we go backstage to Deonna Purrazzo. Pretty much saying, when is enough enough? I'm not some random girl AEW brought off the streets. I'm a 5-time World Women's Champion. And now I'm feeling more and more like myself. And Tony, you want to make this personal, so you got it. So we're definitely continuing the Purrazzo. No, that was to Thunder Rosa. That's who that was for. So that rivalry is continuing. We now have a Rush vignette recapping what he's been up to and putting the roster on warning, which, interesting. We then get an interview from Big Bill saying how he has all the tools to be a top guy, but I'm missing the proper guidance, and Jericho is the guy to take me to the promised land. Of course, in comes Chris Jericho. He's like, "Hey guys," pretty much putting over Shibata as a great wrestler, but I kept my FTW title. And Big Bill, you made me realize you're right. I'm going to take you into the learning tree. Big Bill then replies, "I won't let you down. And I'm going to hold this title for a very, very long time with you under my tree." So, yeah, Big Bill under the learning tree of Chris Jericho. Okay. We then get a Swerve Strickland promo. He's backstage healing from his wounds. Pretty much saying, "You know the man I can be. I'm going to remind you who I am. And next week we're going to have a little talk. and I'm not going to be coming alone. Ooh. So we're going to get a face-off next week on Dynamite between champ and new challenger. Going to be interesting. We then get our second matchup of the evening as Kyle O'Reilly takes on Rocky Romero. This match, I wouldn't say it was a clash of styles, but it was definitely interesting. A lot of really, really good back and forth. Eventually, Kyle O'Reilly gets the win via the roll-up, which Kyle O'Reilly needs his own finisher. If he's going to be his own singles guy away from the Undisputed Elite, he needs his own unique finisher. And while the matchup wasn't bad, it left me wanting a little bit more. Anyway, then we get Soledad and a Harley Cameron interview backstage, calling Toni Storm Tiny Storm for whatever reason. Alright? Losers breed losers. And everyone's just quitting so much. So let's do it again on Wednesday. So I guess we're getting Mariah May against Harley Cameron, which I don't know. Okay. We then get an interview from the Undisputed Kingdom, namely Roderick Strong and the Kingdom. With Roddy saying, we got pressing in issues to attend to. Next Strong is trending for someone who's sitting at home, not doing his job. And Ospreay, while you did retire the Tiger Driver, you're dealing with a Messiah. And with AEW having its 5th anniversary, you will fall to me. You're going to need to unretire it. So, a little bit of fighting words from Roderick Strong for his challenger coming up at Double or Nothing. Then we get this interesting main event, and it's for the TBS title, and it's Manitoba Massacre, in which street fight. As you got Sky Blue taking on defending champion Willow Nightingale. And they pretty much bring everything to this occasion. Trash can lids, cans themselves, chairs. At one point, Willow removes the padding from the outside. No, what happens is she removes some of the protective padding from the barricade. It's a powerbomb with Sky Blue on it, which that's insane. Willow misses on a cannonball to the outside with Sky Blue sat in a chair. And Sky Blue finally grabs a bag of tacks, dumps it to the mat. They try to suplex each other into it. That gets blocked. Sky Blue with a super kick. Try for a power bomb. That gets blocked. Then they go up top, try for a superplex. That gets blocked. Then Sky Blue with a fisherman bomb to Willow into the tacks. That looked like it hurt. Then Willow rolls to the outside, gets a table, sets it up on the outside. She gets back in. Sky Blue goes for the code blue. That gets blocked. Willow with a body slam on the chair. Misses on the moonsault. Then Sky Blue goes to the outside. Takes out a barbed wire covered board. Sets it on the table Willow already set up. So they fight to the apron. Sky Blue goes for a DVD from the apron. That gets blocked. And then Willow with the babe with powerbomb through the board and the table. And your winner, still TBS champion, Willow Nightingale. And Stokely Hathaway and Chris Statlander come up and they help Willow out of the arena. That was a crazy, weird weapons match, but hope they're both okay. Pretty darn entertaining episode of Rampage. I do wish this was more connected to the other shows like it was tonight, because a lot of it was set up on Dynamite that paid off on Rampage. So maybe we could have more of that. Maybe we get more viewers for Rampage. Just a thought. Anyway, we now finish up with TNA Wrestling. And we see First Class. That's AJ Francis, the former Top Dollar, and Rich Swann. They're up in the VIP section with a couple other celebrities. AJ Francis gets on the mic, said, I was told Joe Hendry was going to apologize tonight, so we're going to be up here all night waiting for it. So that's coming a little later. We then go to our first matchup of the evening as X Division champion Mustafa Ali takes on Chris Bay in a non-title contest. And oh boy, this was a whole lot of fun to watch. These two work really, really good together. Ali blocked an Art of Finesse, which that's absolutely nuts. At one point, Ali goes for a pin with his feet on the ropes, but Ace Austin pushes them off before the 3 count. Ace then takes out some of Ali's Secret Service members, which that was awesome. They go back and forth on some super kicks, tries for some power bombs. Bay with a vertebraker, which I haven't seen a vertebraker in a while. That looked cool as heck. But only for a 2 count. Ali then hits Bay with a suplex on the apron, brings him back in, goes for the 450. Bay moves. Bay with the cutter, but then all of a sudden, members of Ali's security team hits Bay with the Ali flag, while one of the other one is distracting the ref. Ali then hits the 450 to pick up the win. Well, this match was a lot of fun. I'm kind of cheesed off on the way it ended. I feel like Ace could have done a little bit more to, even the playing field a little bit more. But, maybe this adds to the breakup of the ABC, in which I hope not. I want to keep the ABC together. Speaking of keeping teams together, we have Dani Luna taking on Alicia Edwards. And this starts as the normal Alicia Edwards talking a lot of smack. Big old slap to Dani Luna. Then Dani just takes over a bit and even hitting a blue thunder bomb for a 2 count. Luna then hits the Luna landing. Then Masha Slamovich gets up on the apron. Jody Threat deals with Masha. Alicia then gets back into it with a couple of drop kicks. Then Alicia grabs the referee, pulls him to the side to distract him. Masha then gets in the ring, hitting a snowplow for Alicia to pick up the victory. So, a very quick match, but a very entertaining one as well. Gonna see what happens at the pay-per-view. Then we get this very interesting segment. It's Death Machine Television with Sami Callihan. Pretty much saying, with Sami pretty much saying, look, it's my show, I can say whatever I want. And obviously I've come back to TNA to right wrongs of the past. and you're never gonna see me coming. Thumbs up. Thumbs down. Nice, quick, easy to digest little segment. Next match, we got Hammerstone taking on Cody Deaner. Now, Cody comes out. He has a microphone. He said, look, I went to Santino Marella's office, and I got it cleared that we could have add a stipulation to this match. So then Hammer grabs a microphone. He says, all right, I see what's going on here. What I suggest we do, we're going to have an arm wrestling match. In which, okay, Hammer. Then Deaner comes up. He says, all right, arm wrestling. That's pretty interesting. But I was thinking we get a little bit more crazy. An anything goes Sin City street fight. And of course that sets Hammer off a little bit. And Deaner says, oh, obviously this isn't your choice. It's not even my choice. It's the people's choice. Of course the people cheer for the Sin City street fight. Then Deaner goes right in with some cheap mic shots to Hammerstone. Bell rings. Deaner gets rid of the microphone and just starts beating down on Hammer. Deaner then gets the trash can lid, hits him a couple of times. Hammer a couple of times. That does nothing. And then this is the Alexander Hammerstone show. Dumps Deaner into the ring post. Couple of chair shots. Then they get back in the ring. Hammer with a big old backbreaker. Couple of chair shots. An awesome fall away slam. Goes for the Nightmare Pendulum, but that gets blocked. Deaner with a body slam into the chair. Deaner then gets the table, sets it up. They then try to toss each other through the table. Hammer then gets Deaner and Aguzo, choke slam through the table, and then gets him up for the torture rack for the submission victory. Hammerstone is not letting go. Then this brings out Hammer's Under Siege opponent. It's Jake something who makes the save. At first, security tries to break up the big man. Jake breaks through. But as Jake is trying to get Hammer to fight, Hammer leaves. Then we get an interesting thing with Nick Nemeth being checked out after the attack by the System last week. Doctors are saying he's not clear to compete for Under Siege. Also, he's going to be at a New Japan show, so there's that. So then we have Matt Hardy in the background saying, it is unfortunate, Nick Nemeth, but how about I team with Speedball Mountain and take your place at Under Siege? Santino makes that official, so that is our main event for Under Siege. We then go to a Matt Hardy Speedball Mountain promo, where Trent is saying, look, we need to take the System down. The System must be deleted. Yeah. So, definitely a very fired up Speedball Mountain and Matt Hardy. We'll see where it goes. We then see a very interesting video from Jonathan Gresham. As he's sitting in a little easy chair in a lobby somewhere, Santino comes over and pretty much says, glad to see you're back, ready to go. And Gresham just kind of smiles. They shake hands. Then as Santino's walking away, he looks down. Sees a bunch of black goo on his hands. And so he tries to wash it off. Screen goes black. I'm not sure what that means for Santino, if he's like marked like something out of House of Black. But this Gresham character, I'm kind of digging. Like, don't get me wrong, he's an amazing wrestler. He's probably one of the best on the market today. He needed some kind of gimmick. And this, it definitely helps him stand out. Then we go to our Joe Hendry apology. He comes out, he's got a guitar. He then first sings the first couple insulting songs for Top Dollar, which was very interesting, including a rendition of AJ Styles' old TNA theme, which popped me really good. It was you are banned from diving. I can't do it as well as Joe Hendry. So then Joe Hendry cuts that out. He says, alright, now it's time for the apology song. Starts off kind of nice. Sorry for making fun of you, but you gave me so much material. On the top rope, land on your head. Please get fired. Kick you out. It was an interesting rendition of a popular song. I definitely not doing it justice. If you find it on the internet, look for it, because it is one of my favorite things in the world going. And you obviously see AJ Francis and Rich Swann reacting. They're kind of booing at him. And then he finishes up. He gets a big old standing ovation, which is great. Yeah, that's how that segment is. Joe Hendry is an absolute treasure who needs to be protected, and he needs a world title. And I'm saying that, yeah. Joe Hendry needs to be a world champion. Book it. We then go backstage. We have Alicia Edwards. She's getting changed, I guess. Actually, no, it's an interview with the system, but it's just Alicia, Eddie, and Brian Myers. Calling Under Siege a big night for the system. Alicia's about to bring more gold. And all you see is us on the poster. TNA needs the system. Now, how did Speedball Mountain get out here for the main event? And while Under Siege is the return of legend Matt Hardy, we became legends, and you claim you can delete people, but the system cannot be deleted, but you guys will. Oh, those are definitely some fighting words from the system. Gonna be interesting to see how they do. Next matchup, you got a number one contendership for the X Division title at Under Siege. Our participants, Inevitable Ace Austin and Trey Miguel. And this was a barn burner. This was such a good little match. Even with Wentz interfering, no Chris Bay out there, which I found to be very interesting. Ace missed on a moonsault early on. Definitely some real back and forth matchup. Eventually, Ace Austin hit the fold to pick up the victory. So Ace Austin going to Under Siege. We then get a backstage promo from Eric Young and Josh Alexander, with Eric Young kind of taking the lead, saying, obviously we don't like our opponents for Under Siege, but we're going to make it real system. We are two guys who represents what's right in this business, coming right at you. We're going to see you tomorrow. Nice, easy, to the point promo. And we're going to see what happens at the pay-per-view. Just watch. And Fine Alamo, our main event of the evening, as the Knockouts title is on the line, as Tokyo Joshi Pro's Miyu Yamashita takes on Knockouts champion Jordynne Grace. And wow, this was an absolute amazing bout. But actually, before the match begins, we see now in the VIP section, it's Ash by Elegance being announced by her concierge. And yeah, this match absolutely ruled. Some really, really good back and forth, including an attempt at a crossface from Yamashita, but Jordynne Grace gets out of it. Grace tries for a muscle buster, but that gets countered into a bunch of headbutts. Jordynne Grace with a nasty looking backdrop from the top rope. Goes for the Juggernaut driver, but that gets countered out. Yamashita with a bunch of clotheslines and kicks. Goes for the skull kick, but that gets caught into the Juggernaut driver for the victory. And yeah, post-match, they celebrate with one another. Post-match, Steph Delander tries to take out Jordynne Grace. Khan with the clothesline from behind. Khan tries to go for a neck snap. Lights go out. Lights come back on. Who's standing right behind them? It's Perfect Creation 1, aka PCO, who gets Khan with a little low blow. Clotheslines them right over the top. Then Steph Delander tries to seduce PCO, trying to stop the attack. But then Jordynne Grace attacks her, hits a choke slam, and then Grace dumps Steph Delander over the top rope to end the show. This was a very entertaining go-home show for TNA. And yeah, it gets me hyped up for the pay-per-view. Can't wait to share my thoughts of it with you all. And yeah, overall, a very entertaining week of pro wrestling. And here's what we got coming up. Now with Raw and SmackDown, we have the rosters from the draft pretty much set. We got the King and Queen of the Ring tournament going on. That should be a lot of fun. NWA has their world title match for Hard Times coming up. Then we got everything post Under Siege. Should definitely be an entertaining week. I hope you all join me. And until next time, happy wrestling, everybody. Peace.